when we look our best, we feel our best. And local beauty blogger and YouTuber Karen Harris is here to share some tips on how to apply makeup. Welcome so much. But before we apply makeup, you got to start off with the primer.
Yes.
Or at least, what products we use before we put on?
Yeah, so I actually was a person that thought that I didn't need primer in my life. So I used to go for years without wearing any primer, but I've started getting kind of back into it.
Yeah.
And so one thing I always tell people is you kind of have to work with the type of skin you have. And so figuring out if you have dry skin, if you have oily skin, if you have a lot of pores. So there's lots of different types of primers out there for you. I have very dry skin, and with the weather here, I always feel like my face is just like the air is getting sucked
in the moisture.
Yes, yes. So I bought a few different things to just kind of talk about, but I have this Tatcha primer, which is so nice, and it kind of has like a smoothing effect, which is wonderful. And then I bought like a hydrate. I literally bought my whole makeup.
That's okay. So I have a quick question when it comes to the primer.
Yeah.
The texture, is there like a secret? Obviously, yes, it does depend on your skin type, but is there a certain kind of texture that you think would be really good for primer? And I'm with you. I never thought, oh, I don't need primer.
Yeah.
And then I started putting it on with the makeup. I'm like, wow, it really does make a difference.
Yeah, some people really like the silicone primers, and those give you more of a smoothing effect, but you really can also use different types of primers for different parts of your face. Some people have like an oily T-zone, and then they have a dry, you know, skin kind of all over your face, so you can mix and match really. And so yeah, it just depends. I'm definitely a fan of something more hydrating because I feel like it really plumps up my skin. Otherwise, you can use something like this. Everybody loves the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, and it just gives you the most beautiful just glow. And then you can go on with the foundation, and it just gives you like a really dewy look, which is super in right now for makeup. So
I know that as I've kind of progressed in my makeup game, and we were just talking about like when we were 15, and I'm significantly better at makeup now than I was when I was 15.
Oh gosh.
But part of the reason I started wearing primers and things was because I realized I'm spending all this money on nice makeup, and it's not even going to sit well if I'm not wearing a good primer.
yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And same with skincare too. I tell people all the time, it's like you can have all the makeup you want, but if you're not prepping your skin for the makeup, it's not going to look as good. So I always moisturize, eye cream, you know, a little bit of lip balm, everything before I go in with my makeup. So I always start off with taking care of my skin.
I will say this, you look back at the 2000s, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I feel like you just shouldn't count those years because to me it was like you had to look orange in a way. It was like bronzing, a lot of bronzer and a lot of glitter.
Blonde
And
hair.
yeah, it was.
We kind of looked like very like Barbie Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, but right, it was like
In
the
low-rise
oranger the better.
jeans.
Like it was, yeah.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah.
So for people out there that maybe they use minimal makeup, or maybe they haven't quite figured out what their routine is, when you apply your makeup, so you've got your primer on, what steps do you go in to apply different things? I mean, you can see her, like her makeup is literally, I'm sitting next to you and your makeup is flawless. So
Yes.
what order do you go in? Maybe I need to change up mine, I don't know.
You know, it really depends on what you're doing. So usually when I'm filming for YouTube, I always start with my base, but there was a time when I'd start with my eyes because sometimes your eyeshadow will fall onto your cheek. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. That's the beauty of makeup. There's really not rules. I think people just think that there's this order that they need to do stuff in, but it just depends on what you've got going on in the day. So I usually start with eyeshadow if I'm not filming, because then if anything falls on my face, I don't have to worry about my foundation getting messed up. So today I did eyeshadow primer, did my eyeshadow, and then I went in with my foundation. And then you can do like your cream products and then your powder products, and then you can use a setting spray to kind of keep everything in place. And then you want to do mascara because otherwise it's going to get everywhere.
What do you think about, I love using rose water.
Yeah.
Would that be a good setting spray, or do you think that that's good to put before, so that's good to put afterwards?
You can use it both times, you know, before and after. There's, if you're kind of like me and you don't like to stick your fingers in things, because I hate putting my fingers into like primers, I just keep an extra makeup brush and use that to apply my moisturizer or primers so that my fingers don't get sticky.
Maybe we can have you come on and help do our makeup. We'll just need just like a few days a week, you know.
We'll have like early 2000s makeover episode. Yeah. Well, we have a lot more to talk about with Karen, so stay with us. After the break, she's going to join us again to talk about maybe some favorite makeup products, where you can even buy your makeup in Fargo Moorhead. Stick with us.